This is Bill D. If you got a foam cannon and it's not acting right and you don't know how to fix it, I'm going to show you some of the troubles that I've had with one, how I fixed it, and got it back to use. So let's tear one apart. So here's the MTM cannon. Most everybody's familiar with this. If you're not, best to get you one. If you need one, I can hook you up. So I've sold a handful of these to different customers, and along the way, I've learned what little things can affect the operation of this and make it frustrating and not work for the customer. So I'm gonna go over those things that'll cause you a problem right now. First thing I've seen, this quick couple, which would be on the end of the power washer nozzle or the wand that clips onto the foamer, has an O-ring inside of here. I've already kind of dug this O-ring out, but I've seen them get brittle and pop out. You can see that guy right there. Okay, when that guy's missing, the first thing you'll notice is it'll be loose right here. The other thing you'll notice real quick is when you pull the trigger on your wand, water will squirt out between those two fittings. What can happen is this O-ring that came out of this quick couple on the end of your wand can get lodged into the inlet of the foamer. So when that happens, or that has potentially happened, you will loosen this fitting, which I have already taken it loose with a wrench, so I can just do it by hand now. Unthread that, look down the hole of that and make sure it's not obstructed. Then, down in the bore of this is a small jet. So take your screwdriver and you can take this jet out. Again, I've already loosened this up. It'll be snug. Pop that jet out, and there's a real small orifice in that small jet. I've seen bits of that O-ring plug that orifice before. So either take a small piece of wire or a little air and blow that guy out. Set him back in the hole. Snug him up. Put your inlet fitting on and snug him up. Another challenge I've seen with these foam cannons is I had a customer that this draw straw, it's a little tough to see, maybe against my shirt, will come off and fall down and lay in the jug, and you can't pick up any chemical. So be sure that this draw straw stays on the unit. Next, I have seen the filter that lays inside of here get plugged up with calcium, from chemical, from you name it. It can get caught in there. So to rebuild one of these is what I call it. Take a pick. This is just a little Matco pick. Press this rod out, that retainer rod. You can get a hold of it with your fingers. Keep track of this guy. MTM will not sell you a little rod. You have to buy a brand new foamer if you lose this guy, or you have to use like a makeshift cotter pin or something. Pull the outer plastic housing off. Then take a wrench and go on this portion right here, holding the body of the foamer. It'll look like this. And take this guy loose, all the way off. Watch, these little corners are kind of sharp on your hands. lay the head of the foamer down, and then your screen, your rebuild screen, lays down in the bore of this unit. I'll push him out for you. I start from the top where those little pieces of thin sheet metal are. It kind of looks like a little duck bill. And I push downward. Don't put this in your hand and do this, you get the pick in your hand. Push downward. And what it does is it pushes that little screen, I call it an agitation screen, out of there. And it'll fall into the palm of your hand. That's the exact same screen that comes in their rebuild kits. Here's the part number on the rebuild kit. That is a 41.0400. All I ever use out of these is just that screen. The O-rings are in there. If you want to do it, go for it. I don't. So to put it back together, you take your agitation screen, I lay it in there, get it squared up, and then I push it in there with my finger until I feel it seat down in the bore of this piece. Take this piece, thread it back on where it come from. Snug him up. You may have to lay this against your hip or your thigh and then tighten that up or put this in a vise, but be careful you don't bust this plastic turn knob on top. Get your plastic outer housing, slide it on, and it'll kind of have a step and a little bit of resistance there, and make sure it seats all the way back here to the center portion of the head of this unit. Grab your pin, start sliding it into the hole, and if you're not sure if it's aligned, look down that hole and see if you can see daylight, and if not, slide that black plastic piece till you can see a nice clear bore through that. Then slide your pin in, take your pick and seat that just a little bit. Make sure it looks equal on both sides. Put your container back on or fill it with your chemical and your water. Got your foamer together. All right, next video, I'm gonna put the foamer to work. I'm gonna show you a couple pieces that I have invented for some problems I had holding the foamer. This is a foamer holder. This one goes up and screws to the wall. It holds your foamer like that. And then I made another version of it, except this one has two clips on the back. It kind of looks like a tape measure clip. And this will clip on the side of your tool cart, on the side of your power washer, or in my case, I clip it on my belt so that I can go right from foaming to washing off my piece of equipment. Again, it lays like that, and then your belt or your tool cabinet, whatever it is, will clip on there. All right, let me know what other questions you've got about foamers, and I'll be happy to make a video and show you guys how to make them work and work well for you.